Hello and welcome to Indian Express Opinion Videos. Our top story today is about Indian cricket, the terrible defeat that India suffered at the hands of Pakistan on Sunday night at the Oval in London, where about 1 billion people all over the globe watched this match. And what happens now? Where does Indian cricket go from here? To break this down, I have with me Daksh Pawar, ace correspondent of the Indian Express. Daksh, break it down for us. What do you think happened on Sunday night? Why did India lose so badly?
Lose so badly will be a massive understatement. It was unpredictable, unforeseen. You couldn't have seen it. You couldn't have forecasted that India will lose by such a margin. But that's what cricket is. It's a game of glorious uncertainties. And on that day, yesterday, Pakistan were the better team, and that's why they won.
But do you think India played its best, or do you think it could have done a little bit more?
India played, I would say, 90% to their potential, but Pakistan played well above that, and I think that was the key factor. There are a few areas of concerns for India going forward.
Okay. What are these?
Such as the 2019 World Cup, let me start it with first, is going to be played in England.
Again in England?
In England.
Okay.
So we have 2 years' time. So we have to figure out whether this is the squad that we want to take forward. There are a couple of areas, like yesterday, one of our spinners, basically both our spinners were not, on top of their form. Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravi Jadeja. So we have to see if these are the guys basically that we want to retain when we go back to England for the World Cup in 2 years' time.
Do you know why they were not up to form?
See, Ashwin, I can say that he was bowling very defensively, which was a great surprise because he's such a great bowler and great bowler across surfaces. Ravindra Jadeja is a good bowler on Indian surfaces, but he is not as good, abroad. Though he was very good in 2013, but the problem with Jadeja is that he is not an independent thinker. He doesn't apply his own mind.
So he needs to be told what to do.
Like Dhoni was trying to tell him yesterday, trying to drill some sense in, and he was bowling wide outside the wicket. There were no variations basically, so he was brutally exposed there. So do you want to take this guy in 2 years' time is a question that we are facing. Plus then there is Dhoni, the question of Dhoni, whether Dhoni is the guy who can be there in 2 years' time. Yuvraj, can he be in Indian middle order in 2 years' time? So these are the things that we have to really sit down and figure out.
But the opening, were you surprised that Virat Kohli got out the way he did?
See, Amir is a fantastic bowler. The bowler
and Amir also wasn't well, I believe, the day before, and then his physio sort of injected some confidence and some courage into him.
See, Amir hasn't been bowling as well as he can, during the course of this tournament. But he is once in a generation bowler. Even a half-fit Amir is better than any other bowler basically that you can find
including
around.
In the Indian team?
Including in the Indian team. I think there is only one Pakistani basically who can walk into Indian team, and that is Mohammad Amir.
That's a great statement coming from you, Daksh. I hope that all the viewers watching are not going to attack you on Twitter tonight. But so this whole defeat at the hands of Pakistan, what does it do to the Indian team? Do they remain confident? How do they go on from here?
See, obviously there is no doubt. As I said, that Indian team was playing 90% to their potential. Yes, there was this thing that they could have played 100%. So, and it's not a difficult thing to achieve, obviously. And Pakistan, as I said, they outperformed themselves completely. And these are the things that are not going to happen on a consistent basis.
They were hungry to win.
Hungry, yes, you can say that. But they were also, Pakistani players, they talk about divine providence a lot basically, and yesterday providence was with them.
Okay. So, and we saw at the end of the match how they all sort of bowed down low and sort of thanked.
Yeah, so absolutely, as Virat Kohli said yesterday, sometimes you just have to sit back and you have to admire basically the other team played well, and it was their day. One team had to lose, and it was India, unfortunately.
So what happens to Virat? Virat Kohli remains on top of his team. Does he, I'm talking about the old sort of rift between him and the coach Anil Kumble. What happens to Kumble now?
Kumble's position is as tentative as it was before. The problem was that Kumble has always delivered results during his 1 year of coaching, but that did not have any impact obviously on his equation with Virat Kohli. So the differences are absolutely not cricketing, let's say.
I see.
They are differences of opinion.
Off the field.
Off the field. So I think that situation remains as it is.
But Kumble's contract comes to an end now, doesn't it?
It has officially ended today, but he is going to be coach for the West Indies tour, which begins shortly.
Okay, so you don't think that the Anil Kumble spat with Virat Kohli is going to sort of damage, if you like, the chances of the Indian team's performance in the coming matches in West Indies and otherwise?
Not really. West Indies are hardly basically a force to reckon with, so India should steamroll over them quite easily, I imagine. And that is it. With that tournament, I think Kumble's tenure comes to an end. And in any case, basically, it's a tournament which doesn't have, which lacks context.
Right. But Virat doesn't want Kumble to remain the coach.
From the reports that are coming, basically, he doesn't.
And do we know what are the other sort of potential coaches? Any names?
Virender Sehwag is the front runner right now.
Okay, so you think that could be a possible replacement for Kumble?
Most likely, I think if Kumble is going to be replaced, he will be replaced by Sehwag.
And Virat is okay with him?
Virat and Sehwag both are from Delhi. Virat Kohli has played a lot of his junior cricket under Sehwag, so they share an equation.
Okay. So I will ask you this one question on the Committee of Administrators and the whole discomfort that we've seen in recent weeks in the run-up to this Champions Trophy. What happens to that?
Committee of Administrators should not have any problem with this result. Obviously, I mean they should not be facing any indictment. Should not be made basically that because of Committee of Administrators we lost this match. It's foolish. Okay. We won the 2011 World Cup. Srinivasan was at the top of Indian administration.
Right.
We don't credit him. We credit Dhoni.
Okay.
So if we can't credit Srinivasan for 2011 World Cup win, we should not blame Committee of Administrators for 2017 Champions Trophy loss. Okay.
So we cannot take that fig leaf and cannot use them to blame what happened.
Obviously not, because they are not the guys basically who are playing there. They are not even selecting the team. Team is being selected by BCCI's appointed selectors. So they have absolutely no role to play here.
So do you think this team of selectors could make some changes? What are you hearing?
They have already made changes for the West Indies tour. We are taking it as an experimental tour where
what are these changes?
Rishabh Pant is going to play over there. So Rishabh Pant, in the long run, we are seeing that he can replace Dhoni behind the wickets, and he is an exciting batsman as well. So he is being prepared as the guy basically who will eventually step into the.
So young blood, you're introducing younger blood into the team.
Yes.
So to come back to India-Pakistan cricket, I want to ask you, Daksh, do you think that India and Pakistan should play much more?
That will take something away from the kind of charm, and the kind of attraction that these guys have. Okay. I remember, in mid 2000s, India and Pakistan were playing each other frequently, but you don't remember too many of those matches. Basically, you remember the 2004 historic series, but not much after that. So yeah, I mean, it's a political issue also. I understand, but I think we should play them as much as probably we are playing any other country. I mean, there should not be.
Yesterday the way when Pakistan won and India lost, it was as if the whole, at least the subcontinent was exploding, right?
Yes.
So in a sense, it was not cricket as a sport, but it was much more than that. It was almost like there was war on the field. And that kind of emotion, I'm not sure is such a good idea.
No, I don't think there was any such emotions. Basically, yes, I mean this Indian team plays very passionately, and Pakistan historically have. But off the field, they remain very good friends. You must have seen that photo where Dhoni is holding Sarfaraz's son.
Yes, that was a lovely photograph.
And then Virat Kohli was very charitable, very gracious, and yes, he is good friends with Mohammad Amir and so many other players of the Pakistani team. Indian team, signed their T-shirts and sent it to Shahid Afridi when he retired. So off the field, players share a great equation, all these players. So what you see on the field is the passion basically and the competitiveness.
So we have to send a message to all the Indian fans who are breaking the TV sets and basically crying and saying that we were let down and that that this cannot be allowed to happen again.
See, this is cricket, obviously, and one team is going to win and one team is going to lose. Unfortunately, it was India yesterday, but on a consistent basis, if India is playing Pakistan on 10 occasions, 8 times India is going to win.
8 times India is going to win?
It's institutional. Indian cricket is institutional. It is professional. It's more professionally run than Pakistani cricket.
So what happens to the Pakistan cricket team? They were absolutely at the bottom of the ratings pile. They've come out on top. Absolutely. What happens now?
There is more to it also. Now, no international cricket, almost zero international cricket has been played in Pakistan since 2009 because of the attack on Sri Lankan team. So to come up against those odds and to beat them and to beat India on top of that is remarkable. But unfortunately, I think, I cannot be too hopeful going forward about Pakistani cricket. Because I remember in 2004, West Indies had scripted a similar, underdog going to victory story in England in Champions Trophy, and we all thought that the West Indian cricket will be revived after this, but it did not happen, unfortunately.
So what happens in Pakistan? Do you think, the Pakistanis have been saying for the longest time that India should play in Pakistan, they want Pakistan to play in India, or perhaps in a neutral third venue like in Dubai? What do you think?
In an ideal scenario, I think India cannot go to Pakistan because of the security situation over there, because of the political situation over here between India and Pakistan. They can't come here. A neutral venue can be an idea, but in these times, basically, when the two governments are at loggerheads, I do not think. I want to see it happen, but I can't see how it is going to happen.
But perhaps more cricket between the two players wherever it's held. I think this could help take the sting out of the enormous emotion that we saw yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
This is a part of diplomacy, soft diplomacy. I think what Atal Bihari Vajpayee pursued. I think I see no reason why this government can't.
Thank you, Daksh. I'm afraid that's all we have for now, but this has been a fascinating discussion with Daksh, and of course what happened in the India-Pakistan match. That's all we have for now.